One of my teachers and an author, Catherine Bomer, wrote in her book, The Journey is Everything. An essay gives its author the space, time, and freedom to think about and make sense of things, take a journey of discovery, and speak her mind without boundaries besides those imposed by the writer herself. In this video, I want to talk through two student essays that are really exemplars in meeting the learning targets, having a clear voice, and robust textual evidence in exploring their ideas and reading of To Kill a Mockingbird. The prompt that both of these essays are geared toward is written in blue, and it's the prompt that states, in the novel, those who do not conform to what society expects of them are punished directly or indirectly. Choose two characters other than Boo Radley and Tom Robinson and discuss how their inability or refusal to conform to social norms contributes to their status as outsiders or outcasts. So let's look at how two students approach this essay and use their writing to explore and explain and really expose some of the themes that are present in To Kill a Mockingbird. So in the opening paragraph, this student begins, the danger resulting from any interracial relationship in the Deep South during the 1930s left Black people fearing for their lives and white people fearing their reputation and respect. Harper Lee captures racial tensions in the Southern scrutiny white and Black people faced when associated with each other in her book, To Kill a Mockingbird. Dolphus Raymond, a wealthy white man in Macomb County, lives and has children with a Black woman, causing all of Macomb to think of him as an undignified drunk. Atticus Finch, a respectable lawyer, takes on a racially charged rape case, defending an innocent Black man. Dolphus Raymond and Atticus Finch become isolated from their community, causing shame and hatred to be hurled upon them. So if we just break down this introductory paragraph, the first thing that I'm going to say is, wow, check out the vocabulary. Words like capture, racial tensions, scrutiny. It's quite clear. The hook is direct and specific, and each of the sentences within this intro paragraph link and connect our thinking till we get to that thesis or the claim, the heart of the essay, what they are going to be writing about, which is also clear and specific with who we're talking about, what happens to them, and what's the result. So based on the two characters, we know that each body paragraph is going to cover a specific character. And this person chooses their first body paragraph to talk about Dolphus Raymond. And she begins, despite Dolphus' great wealth, his relationship with a Black woman caused the townspeople of Macomb to remove him from their minds and eject him from the place he has called home his entire life. Dolphus has single-handedly made his family appear undignified, crazy, and animal-like by choosing love over public admiration and a respectable reputation. Notice the complexity of the sentences that she is using. The community has become embarrassed by this potential powerful figure and his dramatic fall from greatness and keeps him as far from their own as they can, leading right into a quote, lives all by himself down near the country line. Their mortification of what he has become has driven them to push Dolphus almost all the way out of the county. The town's disgrace led to anger and cruel assumptions along with vicious rumors, illustrating the villain of a tragic story in which a young bride killed herself. Scout reiterates this when Dolphus appeared as a place of refuge during the Tom Robinson trial, when Dill could not stand to witness the cruel treatment of Tom Robinson. As Mr. Dolphus Raymond was an evil man, I accept his invitation reluctantly, but I followed Dill. A child who is only 8 years old is taught Mr. Raymond is someone to fear, someone to run from, someone evil due to his romantic relationship. This misconception has been passed on through generations, causing the social exclusion of the Raymonds and the destruction of any honor the Raymond name once had. There is this seamless integration of textual evidence to support the claim throughout the body paragraph. We lead right into the textual evidence, and then we lead right out of, not with a standard transition of this quote shows or this quote proves, and we're not summarizing what the quote is saying, but we're extending with elaboration of evidence. Notice the description that is used, and we're not retelling what the quotes are about, but we're clearly articulating thinking in order to go back and connect and support that claim. Moving into the second body paragraph, we're now going to be talking about Atticus Finch. So we move right into that second paragraph. Again, notice the robust vocabulary used throughout. Despite being assigned Tom Robinson's case, Atticus Finch still tried his absolute best to portray Tom's innocence, turning heads and causing those important to him to question his morals. Atticus's nephew, Francis Finch, Mrs. Dubose, a neighbor Atticus greatly respects due to her determination, and Aunt Alexandra, her sister, are just some of the perplexed people who disagree with Atticus's stance and unwavering fight on Tom's behalf. Yet their relationship with Atticus does not stop them from voicing their concern and punish him for his actions. Atticus' once impeccable reputation has become greatly tarnished along with the family name, making Atticus an outcast in his own family. Again, notice the strong vocabulary and clear voice throughout the essay. As Francis states, I guess ain't your fault if Uncle Atticus is a lover besides, but I'm here to tell you it certainly does mortify the rest of the family. Mrs. Dubose, the Finch's neighbor, overcame a morphine addiction that had controlled her for most of her life. Atticus forces his children to spend some time with her at the end of her life and tells them of her courageous tale. Yet Mrs. Dubose abandons any admiration she had for Atticus because of Tom Robinson's case. Yes, indeed. What has this world come to when a Finch goes against his raisin? Your father's no better than the blank trash he works for. And Alexandra stays loyal to her brother, but still makes him aware of her disapproval. Alexandra fears what the aftermath this case may bring upon Atticus and the trembling her brother's changing mentality will cause in their small world. I can't say I approve of everything he does. It tears him to pieces. What else do they want from him, Maudie? What else? Tom Robinson's case has generated shame upon the Finch's namesake and disappointment and anger among the town. Atticus is the source of the disappointment because he failed what was expected of him and crushed the town's typical belief of white superiority, essentially the slaughter of his formerly flawless character in the eye of the town. So throughout this body paragraph, the student maps out what she's going to talk about and goes through the textual evidence and details of each of these characters in what they say and how they feel about Atticus Finch. And notice also, again, leading out of the quotes, the elaboration and the analysis is twice the length of the textual evidence. And your own words should be heavier weighted in quantity and quality than the textual evidence itself. So let's take a look at the closing paragraph here. Dolphus Raymond and Atticus Finch have smashed the expectations thrust upon them by Macomb and their namesakes through practicing racial equality, but have not done it without consequences. Through Dolphus' social isolation and Atticus's diminishing respect, the people of Macomb have made it clear of their belief that the lighter your skin, the better a person and more superior you are. They are willing to throw away some members of the oldest families in Macomb to purge Macomb of anything other than this prejudiced belief. The townspeople's loyalties lie within their shared racist ideals, not with two men who have only helped and supported Macomb all their lives. Despite knowing the possible punishment they may face, Dolphus and Atticus continue their struggle to practice racial equality. Unfortunately, racial equality still haunts our society about 80 years later. Notice the bridge from summarizing what's going on in To Kill a Mockingbird. We now have a connection and we zoom out to our world today. Similar to the mob, Scout bravely dismantled Charlottesville, Virginia was home to a vile white supremacy gathering only a few months ago. This horrendous behavior of people, due to the tradition enforced by societies like Macomb, must come to an end. The world needs more Atticus Finches, Dolphus Raymonds, and hard-working Tom Robinsons in order to ensure history does not repeat itself. People all over the world need to understand one's power and character is revealed by the way they think, conduct themselves, and their actions, not by the stereotypes stitched into their skin tones. Again, beautifully written, connecting to the world today, clearly bridging Mockingbird to the current racial tensions in the United States today. You know, we end with a beautiful metaphor. We're summarizing in the beginning of the concluding paragraph without sounding repetitive. And we're also ending with that aha moment that we want our readers to see. So an exceptional essay, one to model with our own writing. And in the next video, I'll look at another exemplar and talk through some of the great writing moves that we can model and mentor from our classmates.